Hi everyone, it's Karen here. Welcome to another video with me and Lavinia Stamps. Today I've got a really simple card, simple and poignant, to give us hope. But before we get started, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who came to see me at the extravaganza last weekend. It was so much fun. We really had a ball. I hope you enjoyed it. If you couldn't join us in person, I hope you joined us with the videos and that you joined in. So back to the card for today. I've got the lovely Liberty boat giving us hope. And then in the background here, I've got the maple leaf stamp. And the colours that I'm going to be using for my stamping, I've got Nocturne. For my leaves, I'm using Elements, Sundance and Sahara. And then for my background, I've got Salty Ocean, Mermaid Lagoon, Blueprint Sketch and Chipped Sapphire. So you can see we're getting lighter from the inside, getting darker around the frame. I'm also going to be using a smoothie, my lovely blending brush. I've got an eraser. To colour in my boat, I'm using the lovely Van Gogh pastel pencils. I've also rounded the edges with my corner rounder. We will get started. The card that I'm going to be using, it's an A6 card, so that's an A5 folded in half. And I've just got a piece of photocopy paper in the middle to try to protect the background. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create my background. And to do that, I'm going to use Salty Ocean. And I'm just going to blend it from the edge and bring it, using my stencil brush, to the centre of the card. Just pop my Salty Ocean here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bit of a glow in the centre of this card. So I'm going to bring my stencil brush off the edge to the middle a bit. And then this side, I'm going to do the same. Give us a bit of sky. And then just flick it from the edge into the centre of the card. Like that. And then I'm going to take Mermaid Lagoon. Now it doesn't really matter which blues you use here, but by using two tones, you get a depth that you can't achieve any other way. It fills in the gaps. And gives us some extra depth for our background. Now you can create a sunrise or a sunset using this technique just with the stencil brush across your card, just adding in some pinks or oranges. There we go. So we want this sort of space in the centre. Right, now we're going to have fun with our leaves. I've got my lovely maple leaf stamp. Look at that. It's gorgeous. And then I'm going to take Sundance and Sahara and pop it around the edge. I'm going to start with Sahara. And I'm just going to ink up my stamp. And I'm going to bring it off the edge. First generation, second generation. First generation, second generation. I'm just going to give it a wipe before I go in with my Sundance. Sundance is a slightly lighter colour than the Sahara. I'm just going to pop that peeking through the top there. A little bit there. A little bit there. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You're just going to make it pop all the way around the edge, and then a second generation just in the center there. Then I'm going to take my Liberty Boat with Nocturne, ink it up, and just pop this in the center of our card. So there we have our gorgeous little Liberty floating amongst the trees. I am going to colour it now. So the colours that I'm going to be using, I've got this sort of browny mahogany colour, a lighter brown. And then I've got this, what's this one called? Yellow, medium. And then I've got a couple of greens. And I'm just going to colour in the leaves. Because of the detail on this gorgeous stamp, colouring is so easy, not difficult at all. And these pencils just glide on the page. And if you make a mistake, you can just use a normal eraser to get rid of things that you don't want in places that you didn't want. And then I'm just going to use the darker green just to add a bit of extra depth in some of the places on my leaves. Gorgeous. To colour my boat, because I wanted it to be sort of blending with my leaves, I've just used very similar colours to those leaves. Different colours than I would normally use, but hey. And as I said, because these pastel pencils are so gorgeous, they just glide on the page. And again, the detail in this stamp is so, no, I'm not going to use that, is so gorgeous that you really don't have to be an expert colourer at all. So I'm not colouring the entire boat. I'm going to again leave this tiny bit of white showing through the centre, which gives it a bit of extra contrast. It draws your eye to the centre of the boat. I'm just going to use my finger and smudge that a little. And then I'm going to use this mahogany-ish colour. Oh, no, let me tell you the right name of it. It's Burnt Sienna. And I'm just going to go around the edge of the buttons on my gorgeous little boat. So there are two boats in the range, and this one is the smaller one. I just thought it worked really well on this size card. Again, with my finger, just gave it a bit of a smudge. Then I'm going to take Hope, and I'm just going to stamp it right there. Lovely. I'm now going to take my Smoothie and my two darker blues, which are Blueprint Sketch and Chipped Sapphire. And my piece of acetate. Where is my acetate gone? Here it is. Now I use the acetate to protect my work from my fingers. If I've got any ink or pencils on my fingers, I don't want that to transfer onto my card. So by using the acetate, that acts as a protective mechanism there. So here we go. Blueprint sketch. I'm going to start off my card. It's quite dark. Be brave. And we're just going to bring it. I'm moving it in a circular motion all the way around the edge of my card. And the idea is that we are drawing the eye to the center, to the focal point, which is our gorgeous little Liberty boat. So you want this blue to come around the edges to create that more dramatic effect. So you can see what we're starting to get around here. And then I'm going to go in with chipped sapphire, and not as far in as I did with the blueprint sketch, just a bit on the edge to darken it and give us an extra dark frame. Again, the darker the frame around the edge, the more your eye is drawn to the center and the focal point. And there we have it. The last thing that I'm going to do is, using my corner rounder, I'm just going to round the edges. And there you have it. Simple, poignant, and effective. Thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't found my YouTube channel, I'd love it if you joined me there. It's Karen Telfer, and I'll be back next Monday with another Lavinia tutorial. Bye for now.